In 2007, I expect more wins, more podium positions, and to be challenging for the championship. Obviously, last year we won our first race. That was a great achievement, fourth in the championship. For this year, obviously, we want to do better than that, which means more than one win and top three position in the championship. Formula One really is a laboratory for future technologies. Now, what we do is produce the most efficient vehicle. It's the lightest possible vehicle. It's the most aerodynamically efficient vehicle. And these technologies are the ones that will go into road cars of the future. And in the past, it's proven that some Formula One technologies go directly into road cars. Some of the combustion technology for the engine, some of the fuel reduction ideas that we come up with go directly into a road car. And that's what we want to do more and more in the future. Before we launched this initiative, we did research in 5 countries around the world, and actually what we found was that 94% of people thought this was a good thing. So they love the technology of Formula One, they like the association of Formula One technology with helping the environment, so this actually gels very well with what fans want. We're working with a company called Carbon Sense, which is one of the leading consultancies in CO2 reduction, and they're advising us on what to do here at the site to reduce our CO2 footprint. There are some things which are underway which won't come to fruition for a year or two's time, things like wind turbines and solar panels, which incidentally Honda also make. But on a sort of a micro scale, we really are encouraging the staff to save energy, save electricity. We have energy reducing light bulbs in most of the parts of the plants. We have a cycling to work scheme, and there's a lot of little things which actually add up to rather a lot.
What is the benefits for Honda?
Honda have very, very strong feelings about the environment. They're a company that's participated in reforestation programs. The first hybrid vehicle launched in both Europe and North America was a Honda. We'll be launching a fuel cell vehicle in a couple of years' time. Honda is a manufacturer that set environmental standards for both the cars and also the manufacturing processes. We own a solar panel company, for example. So it's something that Honda really wants to contribute towards, and it was entirely natural that we should take what we're doing in our corporate life and move that to Formula One, where we really can make people aware of environmental issues.
And just slightly on the launch.
Yes, now it's 100% Honda cars. As I said, this car will carry the Honda's strong commitment to the environment and try to increase the awareness about environmental issues. This is a Honda's corporate message.
Is this a
The teamwork's great here. You know, it's always been very, very good, and I think we proved that when we won our first race in Hungary last season, 2006. I think we showed fantastic team spirit that weekend in Hungary, and everyone really worked together well that weekend, and it showed throughout the rest of the season as well. Every other race, you know, we were there. We'd never made mistakes. This is a team that really stick together, and they're really, really confident. I think not just for this year, but the future with Honda. The thing is, it's not big things that we need to change. You know, it's such simple things that can make a big, big difference in the future. And I want to have kids when I'm older. You know, I want to have a family after Formula One, and I want them to have a great life like I have. And you know, they're not gonna have that life if we keep going the way we are. I have a hybrid car in Monaco when I'm at home. Um, Also, when I come to the UK, I'm using a hybrid car and all around the races.
If you think that everything that we do in Formula One, it goes to the car, and right now on your car you having a car that is a little bit more powerful but using less fuel because of technology of Formula One, and by using less fuel you have less pollution, you have less gas onto the roads and to the air. So by doing that we're helping. I like the car. I'm proud to be part of it. La stagione nelle prove è andata abbastanza bene, direi che abbiamo avuto dei piccoli problemi col setup della macchina, però alla fine non siamo fra i più veloci, però stiamo facendo un altro discorso sulle prove, perché l'anno scorso eravamo molto contenti sul sabato, eravamo sul pole tutto quanto, e domenica non tanto, per cui questa volta stiamo girando con tanta benzina, siamo più conservativi, la macchina c'è, più trazione, mi piace, però non siamo ancora fra i più veloci, dobbiamo migliorare. Os testes de inverno foram bons, apesar de não ter tido muita velocidade do nosso lado. A gente estava sempre oitavo, nono, décimo, mas de uma certa forma, sem querer arrumar muita desculpa, nós estamos um pouquinho mais conservadores com o programa de teste, andando sempre com muita gasolina para realmente ter um carro competitivo em nível de corrida. O carro melhorou em muitos itens desde o ano passado, mas ainda precisa melhorar em termos de velocidade. Então a gente vem trabalhando bastante, a equipe tem sido muito boa nesse sentido. Acho que para Melbourne a gente consegue, o objetivo é ir para fazer pontos de cara e lutar por vitórias mais do meio para o fim do ano. A situação da equipe é muito nova e o carro tem um esquema diferente, ele tem só as cores do planeta, e eu acho que a atitude do time ela é perfeita. Eu acho que nós, como humanos, nós temos que fazer um pouco para poder realmente ter um efeito grande no futuro. Então, o que a gente vai basicamente passar para todos é que você não precisa ser o rei, ou você não precisa fazer tudo, você precisa fazer um pouquinho com a sua luz, um pouquinho com as coisas que são feitas, porque o mundo está em crise, então a gente precisa trabalhar com isso. Com 150 milhões de pessoas assistindo a Fórmula 1, acho que o mais importante é passar essa mensagem, tentando chegar a um benefício maior para o futuro.
Well, I think it's excellent, and I think it's very, very encouraging for the sport that they're doing this in Formula One, because I well remember talking back at the beginning of the 90s to the then CEO of Honda, Mr. Nakamura, and he was explaining that they were going to stop Formula One because they needed to put their best engineers onto emissions and reducing the emissions of the cars, making them clean enough for California and so on, which was a completely understandable and logical thing to do, but obviously it didn't suit Formula One. Now, it would be quite possible for a company like Honda to say, we've now got to have a huge leap in fuel efficiency, fuel economy, and we need to put all our best engineers onto that. The fact that they've seen that this could actually combine very well with Formula One is enormously encouraging to the sport, because also it's going to, from our point of view, be very helpful because it will set an example for other manufacturers. Well, I think the fundamental thing is how you limit the power, because with Formula One, always we have to put limits on things, and since the very beginning of time, they've limited the power in Formula One, and always by limiting the size of the engine. So the target for the sport was to get the most horsepower out of a fixed capacity. And that's gone on to the point where in the most recent engines, you're seeing 3-litre engines running at 20,000 RPM. This big change that we're going to make is to limit the power not by the capacity of the engine, but by the amount of energy that the engine consumes. Modern technology makes this possible. So that if you want a power advantage, you're going to have to get more work from a given amount of energy or given quantity of fuel. That then will put all the research into engines and associated technologies in the direction of fuel efficiency, getting the most from the least in terms of fuel, which of course, if it's done well, and it will be in Formula One, can make a huge contribution to fuel economy for the transport fleet generally. I must say, we're not, as it were, Johnny-come-latelys in this whole green approach. We've been sequestrating the carbon produced by Formula One, and not just the cars, all the testing, all the transport, all the air travel, everything, for the last 11 years. We actually started doing this back in '95. So we are into that. But I think the fundamental point is that if we have teams which the object of which is to, or research efforts I should say, the objective of which is to increase efficiency. Then of course that has a direct impact on road cars. And that enabled me to say from 10 years ago that Formula One was greener than athletics, because they don't sequestrate the carbon that the athletes produce, never mind, of course, the cars, the transport, the buses, the airplanes and so on. So we're very pleased with that. Another aspect of Formula One is that obviously a lot of carbon is produced in transporting the cars from place to place, aviation, private aviation, things of this kind, which is taken into account in our sequestration project. But there, apart from the sequestration, I feel that provided Formula One increases the speed with which automotive products appear, then that's justified, but it wouldn't be justified, or would be difficult to justify it in other circumstances.
The current sponsors have been very excited about the concept. Initially, some of them were intrigued and somewhat maybe almost confused because the offering is very different. But as we went into the detail and then they understood how they could leverage it across different markets more flexibly, more reactively maybe, they became more and more excited.
Well, when I stopped commentating on all the Grand Prix, I didn't stop because I wanted to, I stopped because I thought it was time I did, and I missed the Formula One scene enormously. So when Honda asked me if I'd like to be their Formula One ambassador, frankly, I nearly bit their hand off. My role is actually to capitalise on the fact that I have known Honda for a very, very long time. I was actually in the Isle of Man in 1954 when the great Soichiro Honda himself came over with an investigation team to see whether he was going to enter the TT, and he did, and look what happened. So I can draw on all that experience to talk to Honda's guests at the Grand Prix and generally communicate about what a fabulous company it is, and use all the experience I've got to do so. Well, it's very encouraging to be able to say at this particular time that Formula One technology is very much heading in the right direction. I mean, I've lived through an era when, for instance, there were turbocharged cars producing some 1400 horsepower, using very, very special brews to power them and getting virtually no miles to the gallon. But now Formula One is moving in the opposite direction, and it's taking a lead with all the technology that Formula One has got at its fingertips to produce cars which generate less CO2 and which have got things like regenerative braking systems, all of which hopefully are going to end up on passenger cars of tomorrow. So Formula One is taking a technological lead and going in the right direction, which the world should be going in. You know, I've always respected Honda for the fact that they're prepared to take the initiative, be brave, do something different. In my marketing life, I was associated with two campaigns which had to change public attitudes. One was the Don't Drink and Drive campaign, and the other was Clunk, Click, Every Trip campaign to persuade people to wear safety belts. This was at a time when people did drink and drive. This was at a time when people did not wear safety belts. They did not want to be told not to drink and drive, and they did not want to be told to wear safety belts. But now, both these things happen now. It is socially unacceptable to drink and drive, and people automatically do up the safety belt when they get in the car. And that's what I think is going to happen with this need to create awareness of the fact that CO2 emissions have got to be reduced. We've got to create awareness, and that is why I think Honda is doing such a fantastic job in terms of its initiative to take the lead and show people the way to go.
I think it's fabulous. I think it's an amazing opportunity to get this message about our relationship with the Earth to millions of people. Carbon Sense is an organisation, a business that I set up 4 years ago. I felt that climate change was an issue that wasn't being communicated well. I thought we could do better, and we have built a team of people who help organisations, and often now large corporations, understand the issues and to be part of finding solutions. A good example on the site was a pilot that actually showed in the drawing office a 6% reduction in energy use through simple measures like turning equipment off and turning lights off. And if that was driven out through the whole site and kept consistent, that would be a big saving. I believe that this initiative could actually be the largest global climate change communications initiative that there has ever been.
Spin the bar doors around 90 degrees and bring the bottom one up.
just get some extra shots of that. Okay.
Guys, can we just... Guys, come back, guys. Come back. Behind you. Stuart, just watch out for the... Yeah, sure.
TV crews, we won't have the children in the second reveal that we'll do for you, so if you're desperate for this, I can ask the...
Make a donation to charity and or make a pledge that they will do something different in their lifestyle. And that's something that an individual can do, and in return they can have their...
Well, it means a lot to me personally because, you know, I'm young at the moment, and well, relatively young, and I want a family when I'm older, you know, and I think that we all need to pull together and really work as a team to try and make a difference in the future, because I think it's a very big issue. It can be a very big issue in the future if we're not able to do something right now.
So we need to think what's going on, and the initiative here is not to save the planet, but is to make you do a little bit. You will make life for my kids better, and I'm proud of being part of it.
Here today.
Well, this is the new Honda Formula One car, and it's completely dedicated to environmental awareness. Now, that may seem rather strange in that maybe a Formula One car and the environment may not seem obvious partners, but they really are quite good bed partners. Firstly, Formula One has huge global reach. Now, we have pretty much the Olympics, but on an annual basis. Consequently, we can talk to 680 million people every year, pass the message. Secondly, Formula One's about efficient technology, and that's technology that's going to go onto your road car in the future. And lastly, Formula One's about teamwork. We need to get 600 people working closely together to beat the environmental problems. The whole planet's going to have to work together. myearthdream.com is a website that people can go to firstly find out more about our initiative, but secondly, rather uniquely, they can actually have their name on the car. So people can go, they can make a pledge to do something which is beneficial to the environment, they can make a donation to charity which will go to environmental causes, and their name will be on a pixel which actually will be on the car, which is kind of cool.
Well, Honda has been quite actively developing a new technology for the environment and so on. And this is one of our role to communicate with the people how environment is important for our globe. And not just the technology-wise, we like to share this thinking through this message. 今年は全く新しい車を作ったものですから、初期の問題がいくつかありますけれども、今のところ、計画したプログラムは順調にこなせてますので、シーズンの開幕が非常に楽しみです。ホンダはですね、創業当時からいろいろな面で環境技術に対して努力をしてきました。1970年代、ずいぶん昔ですけども、初めてのアメリカでの排ガス規制に対して、最初にクリアした車を作ったりですね、その後も電気自動車であったり、例えば最近ではフューエルセルであったり、積極的に新しい技術のイノベーションに対して、邁進しています。
And tell us a little bit about myearthdream.com.
このウェブサイトは我々の考えていることをより多くの人たちとコミュニケートするために、あるいはより多くの人々に知っていただくためのツールです。
controlled by the Roman users, and you would do to stir water. That's the best thing to do. That's why it's going to be. Sorry? Yeah.